Today on the Voices of Legacy, I have the honor of sitting down with a man who has dedicated his life to public service, leadership, and community, from serving our nation in the U.S. Air Force, a distinguished 30-year career in law enforcement, among other things that we're going to talk about today. I have the distinct honor of having none other than Mr. Richard, how do you say that last name?
Bingham.
Bingham, today, the mayor of Whitehouse, Ohio. Mr. Bingham, is it Richard or?
Richard is fine.
Do you have a nickname?
My wife calls me Rich. That's fine as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like Rich. Tell us more about yourself.
Like you said, I've been in public service since I joined the United States Air Force. Back on August 26, 1986, as an Air Force police officer, I was stationed at Griffiths Air Force Base, Rome, New York, part of the 416th Security Police Squadron, 416th Combat Support Group, through the Strategic Air Command after leaving the military, which I was honorably discharged. Did a couple of things, then was hired as an investigative agent by the Ohio Civil Rights Commission. Was promoted about 3 years later to investigative agent supervisor. While I was there, I went through the police academy, subsequently worked part-time at the Providence Township Police Department as well as the city of Wauseon. Decided I liked the law enforcement career field, so I decided to go into it full-time with the city of Wauseon. I was there for approximately 14 years. Worked my way up the ladder there as a patrolman to detective sergeant, lieutenant. I left there to become the chief of police in the village of Pemberville, Ohio, which is over by Bowling Green.
Oh, yes. My friend Ben has a place there.
There you go. My wife's family is actually from there, so that was kind of the draw for me over there. And then I went to work for the state of Ohio as the chief of police at the Northwest Ohio Psychiatric Hospital, which is right down the street here. So I was there and then had an opportunity to finish out my career as the chief of police in Waterville Township, where I grew up. I'm a Waterville guy, Anthony Wayne, graduate of class of 85, so I got a chance to go back there. Retired in 2020. Stayed retired for about 90 days, got bored. Went to work as a lieutenant at the Mercy Health Police Department down here in Toledo, and left there when I was offered a position as the chief of police in the village of Fayette, Ohio, which is in Fulton County. I've been in politics now for about 8 years. I served on Whitehouse Village Council for 6 years. Decided to run for mayor 2 years ago and was elected mayor, so I'm in my first term right now.
Awesome. So you're new to the political field.
8 years, new to the mayor field.
Okay.
So about,
Gotcha.
so it'd be about 20 months now. So.
Awesome. So how has your experience in law enforcement affected or maybe led you to politics or public service?
Well, as you said when we started, it's all I know really is public service since I've been 19 years old. When my wife and I moved back from Wauseon, because at the time back in the 90s, you had to live where you policed. That's before the law changed. So when we moved back to the Anthony Wayne area, Whitehouse specifically, when I was the chief of police in Waterville Township, I decided, hey, I wanted to get involved in the next phase of, because I knew I only had a few years to go, so I wanted to get involved. And it's community service, and I decided to run for village council and actually beat an incumbent, which rarely happens.
Especially in those small towns.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And was able to do that, and then was reelected 4 years later. And then was elected
Did you
mayor.
have any history in Whitehouse before then?
I lived in the Anthony Wayne area for 40 years.
Okay.
So we had lived
So
in
not
Whitehouse,
far.
Waterville, yes. So in the immediate area, yes, I've been there most of my life. My parents, we grew up in Waterville. I was there since 1967. So Anthony Wayne area has been place my wife and I call home, so we kind of always wanted to move back there. And we had the opportunity, and that's why we moved back to Whitehouse. It was also a lot closer to Waterville Township, the police station. So that's why we decided to move back there.
Gotcha. So you physically moved to not Waterville, but Whitehouse,
Yes.
where you're serving now.
Yes.
So how's that been going for you?
Politics is interesting. I will say that. It's
a little
different.
A little different, huh?
And what I mean by different is it used to be pretty, people put signs out and did things like that. And now with social media, it's kind of changed the whole political realm of everything, where people can attack you, and you have very little recourse, I guess, to do that. There was a lot of things in the local area, in the Anthony Wayne area, our school board, our city of Waterville, their council race, also some things that happened. It's not usual where people get attacked for running for political office out where I'm from, and this last election was pretty pretty bitter. So and
Kind of brutal.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal. You better have some thick skin.
Yeah.
Because people are going to say things about you, number one, that aren't true. But that's politics. I mean, that's what we have now, and that's one of the bad things I see about politics is people say things that they don't know the facts about, and I just wish people would get the facts before they make statements.
Kind of have to have thick skin.
You have to have very thick skin, especially in law enforcement. I think that certainly helped me.
It does.
It certainly helped me
Yeah.
in regards to my political career. But I'm used to village government. I work for a township, a village, the state, so I'm familiar with the process and the political part of it as well. Let's not sit here and think there's not politics, of course, and everything we do.
In law enforcement, absolutely.
Yeah.
And de-escalation.
Yes.
Of the very thing that you're talking about.
CIT is very important.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome and interesting. So you think, I mean, you're a relatively young guy. You might have a long career in...
I'm 58 years old.
Yeah.
We actually, what's very interesting you say that is we have a charter form of government in Whitehouse. And we are putting on 2 amendments to our charter for our voters this November because all charter amendment changes have to go to the voters. And 2 of those for term limits for our council and for our mayor. So
I wonder what inspired that.
a couple of our council people decided that what they had seen over the years is people get in and never get out. And that change is a good thing, and I believe in that philosophy as well. New ideas, it spurns new ideas, new opportunities for growth, and sometimes, and I do believe this change is good. So we'll have to see what the voters in Whitehouse, whether or not they want those charter amendment changes or not.
Well, as the mayor, it's interesting that you bring up change because White House, and I'll have to admit, I'm kind of familiar with it. I have the responsibility of a radio tower in White House.
Okay, all right.
And I enjoyed visiting and getting to know people, and I was like, you know what? I need to know everybody. It's a nice community, but I
Yes.
remember from my childhood, it's way different. There's a lot of stuff, even though it's a small community, that's been built that I don't remember seeing there before. Has the growth, I guess, surrounding the Toledo area in Lucas County affected White House greatly?
It absolutely has. White House is one of the few towns here, especially in Lucas County in Northwest Ohio, it nearly doubled in size in 12 years.
Looks like it.
And with urban sprawl that's coming, we certainly, with Waterville, their expansion, how big they've gotten, we will be a city coming up here in 2030.
Oh, wow.
We'll be over 5,000 residents. We actually missed it by 10 this last time, 4,990. So it will certainly change not only a charter, but our responsibilities, our employees will be able to unionize and various things. But things have certainly changed out in southwestern Lucas County. We're very good to the Lucas County Library. As you know, I'm sure that they're building their new $20 million
Yes.
library out in White House. I petitioned for that, fought for that for several months to get that, and it's actually going to be one of the first in the nation that has not only a library but a conservation center because we matched up with the Lucas County Metro Parks.
Nice.
So right now it's where it's going to be in the Blue Creek Metro Park in White House is where it's planned to be built. They're starting construction probably toward the end of next year. We're having several things they're doing now, of course, soil studies and other things. But one of the things that's delaying it a little longer than what we wanted was we wanted our citizens to have a say in what it looked like.
That's good.
And so that pushed it back probably about 6 months, the start date. And Library Board, of course, and the Metro Parks are certainly on board with that they wanted the surrounding communities to have a say in what the building looked like. So we wanted it to be a showpiece for our community.
So I heard you talking about soil studies and such. So you're building towards growth, or are you anticipating more growth?
Well, one of the issues we are certainly going to have growth. The issues we're having in White House is our ditches. The problem with the ditches, if you're not familiar with that, overflowing, flooding because of all the backlogs that are happening. That has kind of stymied our growth somewhat because people don't want to build houses or businesses in a floodplain.
Yeah.
So it's a 6-year a program that the county is doing to try to clean out the ditches. Unfortunately, White House is probably one of the worst locations in Lucas County for the blockages because the emerald ash borer trees are a lot of the cause of that. Myself and Lisa Sebecki have fought through the state legislature to try to help get money for that. We're trying to get grants and everything else. It's about a $19 million project over 6 years to do it. But for White House, our growth is still going to continue, but not probably at the pace it would if we didn't have these other issues.
And growth sometimes can be painful, and I think Fallen Timbers may be the best example. It's been in the news recently.
Yes.
And my wife and I, we went out there, and I was shocked and amazed. I was like, oh, my God, what happened?
Yeah.
It's sad. It's like the investment was made, but there didn't seem to be any residential planning surrounding that development. Has the downturn for the Fallen Timbers affected your township as well?
Well, it hasn't really affected the village of Whitehouse. I know that the school gets a lot of money because the Anthony Wayne school system. It really hasn't affected. We're still far enough away from it, but the growth in Monclova is tremendous as well.
Yes.
But Whitehouse is actually the fastest growing community in Northwest Ohio. And we want to try to keep it that way. We have new developments that are trying to come in right now, actually, probably 70, 75 housing units.
Oh, wow.
One of the things that we're having an issue with is one of the first things that I did as mayor, is we had a survey go out to our citizens. We had one prior to that when I was on council. And some of the things that our citizens said in the survey is that they don't want any big box stores, they don't want fast food, and they don't want manufacturing. Well, the problem is those are the three things that bring your tax revenue in.
Yeah.
But we need to listen. They want it to be a bedroom community, so we have to figure out a way to raise revenue without bringing those type of businesses in, because our citizens just don't want
Well,
that.
maybe to the edge.
Yeah. So we're trying to do the right things to get people to town. But the problem is one of the things I always say is the only thing government has to prove, or what they have to do, is to find out how to raise revenue without hurting our most vulnerable population. That's what we have to do. And it's difficult. Right now it's eluded everybody. And we are going to be in a financial issue here a few years down the road in Whitehouse because of every reason everybody else is in. The 10% inflation.
Yeah.
When we become a city and people can bargain, collect a bargain, that usually costs a lot more. We have to take care of our state routes now. The state no longer has to do that. So there's things that are coming up. But one of the things that we've done in Whitehouse, and we've been very good at, is getting grants. We just got a $1.8 million grant for our new water tower.
Nice.
That we had to have. So it saved taxpayers that kind of money. We just recently found out the state awarded us again a new walking connected trails that will go from our downtown all the way out Weckerly Road to our high school.
Nice.
So you'll basically be able to walk the entire village each direction to the school. And that's one of the things our citizens said in the survey. They also said they wanted was connectivity, and we brought that.
The mayor of Rossford,
Neil McKinnon.
Yeah, we had him, and I never really comprehended the size and scope and kind of the smallness of Rossford for the sliver that it is, but the businesses that were there. Could you kind of explain kind of the size of Whitehouse and its proximity to Toledo and the Lucas County area?
Whitehouse is approximately 5,100 people now. It's approximately, I'm going to say, 17 to 20 miles from Toledo. One of the things that is also stymieing our growth is our State Route 64. You've been out there.
Yes.
The problem is the narrowness of it. A lot of crashes, a lot of things. There are businesses over the years that have come to Whitehouse that wanted to come there, the bigger businesses, but they can't because of the narrowness of the road. Now, US 24 certainly helped. We would like to petition the state at some point to try to widen that road, which would open up a lot of avenues for us. Our big canning company there, Ardo, made the decision to leave right as I was coming in to be mayor.
Oh, wow.
It was a big employer at one time, 500-600 people. At the end, it was less than 100. But they made cans. It was a canning company, pop cans, beer cans, that type. So they closed up shop. We were concerned that we weren't going to be able to get anybody in there. Actually, we were very successful in bringing a toy company by the name of Flybar there. Awesome. So they do not make the toys, but they needed a Midwest hub or warehouse, and they selected Whitehouse and purchased that property, and they are gearing up now to make it, like I said, their Northwest hub, where there'll be a lot of transportation and in and out of there and a lot of toys moving.
Awesome. So you don't have, albatross there of empty space and whatnot, because Toledo, in the city of Toledo, we have quite a few empty factories, empty big box stores, and it's kind of sad. And, my wife and I, we were in Findlay, Ohio, coming back from a church state conference, and I was so impressed at the vision of the mayor. That I'd spoken to him previously, hopefully to get him here. But he had a vision of logistics for the township. And if you've ever been to Findlay most recently, within the last decade or so, that's all of Findlay. It's pure logistics. There's thousands of trucks going in and out, and it's reflected a good tax base there for not only employment but from the manufacturers and distributors that are there. Do you have a vision maybe similar to that for your area because of its proximity?
We do have a vision, actually.
Hopefully without roundabouts, by the way.
But, I know roundabouts are part of it. Actually, you say that, but I will tell you this: we've had several businesses approach us that want to come to Whitehouse. Mm-hmm. The problem is we have no open space. I mean, what I mean by that is we have no businesses they can rent, no businesses they could buy because almost all of them are full.
Oh, wow.
And very few business people now want to buy land because it's extremely expensive in southwestern Lucas County. Start a business, build the business, okay, and risk whether it succeeds or not based on all that financial burden. They would rather come into something that's already there, and if it works out, then they could build later. Yeah. That's the problem we're having with our growth business-wise, and that's not a bad thing because all of our businesses are really taken. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to get people to come that fit the community. Like I said, the citizens overwhelmingly voted they wanted to be a bedroom community. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that costs, which is unfortunate. But my plan, and it's been previous council's plan, is we have corridors in place where we would like to have not only residential but business in the same. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever been to the city of Dublin, Ohio.
No, I can't say that.
It is a beautiful, well laid out plan that they have down there. We've basically copied some of their plan for our 64 corridor. We have some of it now. Just as you come into town across from the Flybar building, the big manufacturing, big plant there, where it is residential. And I'll give you an example, like there's businesses on the first floor and apartments and condos second and third floor. It's that type of development. And there's certain facade and exterior facade you have to have, which we've basically, our council has approved. So businesses that come in there, we have a brand new business that's actually going to be opening up. They're getting ready to build it right now. All the materials are there on our 64 corridor. So new businesses that are going to be there have to basically conform to the plan and conform to what the businesses will look like. But we like to bring retail, certainly small retail shops. They help you. But what kind of shocks me is people don't want fast food places in Whitehouse. They have a couple in Waterville, but...
Well, how close do you have your fast food?
3 miles.
Well,
it's right in Waterville. It's just down Dutch Road. Yeah. We have a McDonald's, and they just built a brand new Taco Bell there. We do have a plan for growth. It's just what our plan, the vision as council, I don't think maybe on the same wavelength as our citizens want to be.
Well, could that be to what you were speaking of earlier in the term limits? I've experienced, in full disclosure, I've said on citizens review boards, as a matter of fact, I do here in Lucas County, the detachment a lot of times has a lot to do with people being in the same spot forever and ever, amen, and they've become detached from their current citizenry. It's not the same town anymore, and they're not building for growth, but growth's going to come anyhow. So it seems like we would make that less painless by kind of getting new blood in.
Well, and sometimes there's growing pains with that. I'm the first mayor, I think, in the history of Whitehouse, and I'm aware of, where we had basically 4 brand new council people with 0 experience, one with about a year and a half. So the overwhelming majority had less than 2 years of experience on council when I got in there. So there's been some growing pains from me being a new mayor and them being new on council. I think we've worked our way through it. We work together as a group, and we have differences of opinion, which I always said is a good thing. But term limits is probably a good thing.
Yeah,
it's probably a good thing. People come in with new ideas, fresh ideas. I mean, we have people that have lived in the town 2 or 3 years that are on our council. We have people that live there 40 years on our council.
Would the term limits affect your office?
Yes, it would be mayor, it would be 3 terms.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and same way with our council, would be 3 terms, and then you would have to go off for 4 years. But in my opinion, if you're in politics, 12 years is certainly long enough.
Yeah.
If you could even stay that long, the way things are now in the atmosphere that we have and the climate that we have, it's difficult. It's difficult.
That's true. Well, we've got a mayor that extended his term.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that today. Wow. I think we've covered pretty much everything. But I've got to ask, what is it that you like to do in your private life that you can share with us? Do you have any hobbies or anything like that?
Actually, my wife and I travel the world.
Oh, okay.
So we like to travel to Europe. We do the Christmas markets every year through Germany and France, Austria, Switzerland. We're getting ready to go here shortly on a 2-week vacation to Eastern Europe. So we're looking forward to that. We travel. We like to travel. We have grandkids. I have 3 grandkids. We like to go to their sporting events.
Awesome.
Things like that. But we travel. We travel while we can.
Grandkids near enough to
yeah.
get spoiled?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They live pretty close by. I get to go to their sporting events and everything else. I have 1 boy and 2 girls, so that takes a lot of time as well.
That's great.
But that's what I usually do in my off time. I work a lot. I have, as you know, I'm the mayor as well as chief of police in the village of Fayette, and I also sit on some other boards, which take up my time. So I'm frequently every night doing something. So
That's probably what keeps you looking young.
I don't know if I look that young. I feel old with being on the go all the time, which is a good thing, though. But
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I agree.
We're made to move,
Yeah.
and having a life of service, it helps to stay active and
Yes.
stay aware of what's going on. That's the only way you're going to stay aware of what's going on
Yeah,
and be
yep,
effective in
yep.
the positions that you've been elected to. That's great. Did you have any suggestions to young people that may be aspiring to be in law enforcement or in the military or even in elective office?
I will tell you this, and my wife and I have talked about this. I hated the military when I was in it. I'm not
The
gonna
Air Force?
I'm not going to lie to you, but you know what? After I got out of it and look back, it was the best decision I ever made.
How many years did you serve?
4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the best decision that I ever made. I think it set me on the right path. So did my parents, of course, my upbringing. But the military set me in the right direction. This made me decide what I wanted to do, and respect others. It teaches respect, as you know, and authority, and how to deal with it.
Discipline?
Yeah, and discipline.
Yeah.
And I think was very helpful to me. I would absolutely recommend to anybody that's considering it. They might want to think about joining the military, whatever branch it might be.
Yeah.
Politics, maybe not so much. I have a nephew that's in poli-science right now, political science at Miami University, and he and I had a talk. It's not bed and roses that it is on TV. That you better be able, like you said earlier, to have thick skin.
Oh, yes.
It's the attack mode. I remember our government growing up. I'm a Reagan Republican. Is that we come together, 2 different political parties, we come together, we debate an issue respectfully,
Yes.
and then the majority rules. Majority wins. And I think we need to get back to that. It's not us against them. I think the common goal is to do what's best for our citizens, and I think that's where we need to get. We've lost our way, and I'd like to see us get back there.
It almost seems as though we went from, as you use the analogy of kind of like football teams almost, to a place of WWE, but with real consequences.
Yeah.
It's a caricature of what should be. We should be able to disagree without being disagreeable, disrespectful, or even what we experienced just a week
Or
ago
violent.
as a nation.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
That should never happen, and I think it's because we've fallen away from where we used to be as a nation, and we can get back there. It's just when we're in, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox real quick, but when we've fallen in a place of extreme circumstances and situations, we need some extreme measures to get us back to a place where we can have civil discord without violence and without me hating you, you hating me. That's a better place to be and more effective, I think.
Yep. The us against them, I think, needs to go away. I think we'd be a lot better off.
Yeah.
If that was the case, because as everybody always says, there's great ideas all over Washington.
There is.
And there's great ideas all over Whitehouse. It's getting those ideas together and being able to agree on them.
Yes.
And put them in place and move forward as one, especially as one community. And I like to think that Whitehouse, we've been able to do that. And we've been successful at it in bringing businesses and things to Whitehouse. And I think if we got back on that path, maybe nationally, we would be okay. But violence is never acceptable. Violence is never acceptable.
No. Or even the hate and vitriol that leads to it. It shouldn't be acceptable either. People should be held accountable.
Yep.
You do have the freedom of speech, but you don't have the freedom from accountability. None of us do.
Yes.
What do you think your legacy is? Final question. And what would you like for it to be?
I like to think my legacy would be of service. I'd like my grandkids to see that it's good to serve, even if it takes up a lot of your time, because the end result is good. If you're trying to make a good in your community, and I think the people have to serve to get it there, to get it to that point, and that's why I've done what I've done over the years, and serving on the boards and everything else, and running for politics, I like my legacy to be that we can understand one another, disagree, and be respectful about it, and that hopefully we all can get along and move forward toward a common goal, which is what's best for your community.
Wow. And a Rodney King quote to boot. Can't we just get along?
Yes.
I can't do it like him. Thank you so much for being with us today. Rich.
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to get it right. The mayor of Whitehouse, Ohio. We appreciate you very much. And did you have any parting words? I didn't want to cut you off.
I just want to thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to come down here and speak about the beautiful village of Whitehouse and talk about community and how to make things better. I think it's important that we have things like this and shows like this that try to bring us together rather than apart. I think it's very important.
Thank you for listening to the Voices of Legacy. This is your friend, Pastor Carl Mitchell III, your host of this program. We want you to go to wgte.org/legacy to like, share, subscribe, and hear all of our past podcasts and our future podcasts. Be a friend and join with us in the Voices of Legacy, where you're writing your own legacy every day that you live. Have a blessed day.
WGTE. Voices around us.